Good riddance. Thank God it happened. The Mavericks fired Nico Harrison this morning. Sorry, I'm getting this out a little bit late. Slept in a little bit and then had to run some errands this morning. And, when I woke up, it was about an hour after the Nico news broke. But finally, now, hopefully, Mavs fans can find some sort of peace. I don't think you can ever recover from what Nico Harrison did to this franchise. And it sounds like I'm being dramatic to the outside fan, but the man built an NBA Finals team, traded future assets that the team is going to pay for moving forward, by the way, to bring in players to build around Luka Doncic, who at that time had made All-NBA First Team 5 straight times, 25 years old, on the heels of a finals appearance where, yeah, they got beat by the Celtics. They were clearly the better team. But there was stuff to look forward to considering that team had just been put together at the trade deadline, essentially, and they were going to go into last season with a full season of training camp and all that. And Nico Harrison, because of ego, because of idiocy, because of all of the above, we also cannot exclude ownership from this, by the way, new ownership and minority ownership with Mark Cuban. But Nico Harrison somehow got gaslit as well by Rob Pelinka over a cup of coffee to get him to trade Luka Doncic to the Lakers. Not only did he not canvass the league, if you're going to trade Luka Doncic, you open it up for bidding. But it's the most indefensible trade in NBA history. Most indefensible trade in sports history, quite honestly. And I can't believe, look, it's the internet. So there's always going to be a faction of people who want to be contrarian or be on the opposite side of the argument just for the fuck of it. And that's what I hate about the internet mostly, is that something that's very obvious people just want to be on the opposite side of. And this isn't just some Twitter randos. This is like actual media members who defended Nico Harrison, especially after the Lakers got eliminated in the playoffs and then the Mavericks won the lottery, as if Nico Harrison casted a spell that allowed the Mavericks to win the lottery at 1.8% odds. Idiots. All of them. All of them. This is indefensible. You literally blew up a finals team, traded what is going to be as soon as Luka Doncic retires, you might as well just hand him the gold jacket immediately. And you trade him to the Lakers. He's averaging 40. Meanwhile, your vision of defense wins championships has gone to shit because when you trade for someone like Anthony Davis and then decide your future's built around Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis in their mid-30s, there's a chance you're going to get some stars that are injured. And that's what's happened. Kyrie Irving is probably, I don't even think Kyrie Irving should come back this year. I know there were talks about him coming back around January or whatever. Don't even do that. Trade Anthony Davis. Like I said in the last video, you could not continue the Cooper Flagg era with Nico Harrison as your GM. And the thing is, he was kind of an above average GM before the Luka trade. I liked his trade deadline moves at the time. Some people didn't because, he was burning first round picks, but they were perfect players to fit around a guy that is a top 5 player in the NBA and an MVP candidate, and then you fucking traded it away, and now we're wondering, well, why the hell does a roster that was specifically designed to be built around Luka, remember that one year they tanked for Derek Lively to keep their top 10 pick, this roster is built for Luka, and now Luka's not there. Now we want to act surprised, especially when Anthony Davis gets hurt, in his I think it was his first game, it was his Mavs debut, and then is hurt so far this year. Kyrie Irving tears his ACL, hasn't played yet this year. And then you want to make Cooper Flagg the point guard? No. We got to clean house, start a new era, and hopefully Mavs fans can be at peace. Nico Harrison erased his entire resume by making the absolute dumbest trade in sports history. And then I see former agents on Twitter and shit like that defending Nico Harrison. And then Pat Dumont, the new owner for the Mavericks, a new ownership group with the Adelson family or whatever that came in, a few years ago. It was clear they don't know how the Mavericks fan base operates or how basketball works, and they let this idiot fucking trade your franchise player. He's going to be the most talented player in Mavs franchise history. Dirk is going to be the greatest. He's going to be the legend, the icon, one of the great players of all time, brought a championship to the Mavericks. But Luka was on track to just flat out be the most talented player in franchise history. And then if he brought a championship, obviously the greatest player. Dirk even said that a few times himself. And you just fucking traded the guy. But that's neither here nor there now. The bad man's gone. Unfortunately, you still have stupid fucking ownership, which I'm interested to see how Patrick Dumont operates. You know, I really don't have a lot of faith in billionaires nowadays, you know, operating in good faith or actually making common sense decisions. And yeah, the letter to the fan base was cheesy. And he also did publicly back Nico Harrison, you know, trading Luka Doncic with quotes like, well, look at our roster. We still have Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson. You know, the guys that we fucking traded to put around Luka. But you know what? I'm interested to see how Patrick Dumont moves forward. Is he going to be in the background? I'm interested to see what Mark Cuban does. Because honestly, Mark Cuban has been fucking annoying too. Especially with, you know, blindly defending this whole aspiration shit with the Clippers. And then also talking two-face ever since he's been the minority owner. Like, he's been annoying as well. So I hope Mavs fans can heal a little bit at least, knowing that the bad man is gone. You just could not continue with this. The minute Nico Harrison traded Luka Doncic, he should have been fired. That erases all the goodwill. You are one of the worst GMs of all time. And you can list me the previous moves Nico Harrison made. By the way, haven't even mentioned the Quentin Grimes trade. Because, of course, you know, that was overshadowed, understandably, by trading Luka Doncic. But he has erased all the good moves he's made by making this one. Because the Luka trade was the type of trade where the 2K GM simulator will be like, are you sure you want to do this trade? Like, it'll make you double check before you actually press yes. And somehow, some way, Nico was like, let's do it. And then Patrick Dumont obviously greenlit it. I'm sorry. Yes, it sucks, Mavs fans, but I do laugh at the idea that Nico Harrison just got gaslit by his friend Rob Pelinka over a cup of coffee. Like, yeah, you're right. He does have health issues. You know what? You should probably just trade him to me. We'll take him off your hands. Nico's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. Man, that sucks. Well, at least it seems like Cooper Flagg really isn't playing point guard as much anymore, or at least last night. He had a really good game. It's funny how, you know, when Cooper plays his natural position. By the way, I think Cooper Flagg should still be like a playmaker or initiate the offense in that way sometimes. I just don't think he should have been the full-time point guard because your roster construction fucking sucks, because you traded fucking Luka Doncic and now you have all these big-ass centers, wings, and no like table-setting point guard or someone to control the tempo. God, this move really fucked the Mavericks. It's a good thing they have their pick this year, because all the picks they traded to build around Luka Doncic is now out of their control. And Godspeed to the next GM, man.